Rightio. Today we've got to just essentially clear as much of this. I'm going to try and take this tree down. I'm going to cut it somehow. I don't know. I got a chainsaw. It's either going to be the corded or the petrol powered one. I prefer the corded. I've actually got a sticky one as well. And we'll see how we go. I've got to get all this up first and dig out this stuff. Anyway, here we go. Rake. I'm going to go backwards and forwards today. How are we doing? We're good? We're good? Yeah, we're good. Okay. Feels like I should have done something else. Now this is going to be pretty useless. Welcome to Rin Furniture's Family Fun Time with your host, Sebastian. And I'm only kidding. Today we're in the front yard. I'm clearing the front yard for some furniture.
No! This is a song about a whale. No!
This is a big project, so this is probably the second video in a number of videos featuring me sweating, grunting, bending over and having sore muscles. Oh. Time to do something easier. I have this really useful tool which I alluded to at the beginning. I called it the sticky one, but it is basically a chainsaw on a pole. If you need to do some intense garden work, there are some tools you want in your arsenal. The sticky chainsaw is one, but a good pair of gloves is essential, preferably one that has some sort of leather or fake leather type dealio. And a decent pair of earmuffs and eye protection. I have some fitovers that are tinted and have UV protection in them, and they're polarized. And take frequent breaks. I'm just precariously looking for something that looked like a wedge. No wedges found. Put gloves on. So I'm going to have to drag the bag away, down over there somewhere, and get up on a ladder, which I don't like doing. And I'm not going to move this. Come on, come on. Yeah, gonna get it up there on the ladder, cut it with a chainsaw, use the petrol power one because it's got a bit more grunt in it, so I can actually go higher, control the cut a little bit better so it's shorter, because there's a lot of weight. That whole tree would weigh more than I did, considerably, and I guess that's going to fall this way. Got a bit of weight to it. Bit of weight. Ooh. Chainsaw. Do I have petrol? Got some two-stroke. Yay! This requires a hard hat because the last thing you want is something landing on your head. Why did the chain not go? Turn around. Well, that just lost a bolt. The bolt came flying off. I didn't even see it, which is a bit of a problem. Oh. I'm using a method called notching, or a conventional notch. You can cut out a 45-degree notch at the front of the tree and then cut a hinge at the back. It helps control the direction of the fall. After the tree is down, I took chunks off at a time to keep the pieces small. Had a guess? Really? Oh yeah. Bone dry. Since I've sweat a great deal, I'm going to take this time to have a small little break. Oh my God. Lunchtime. Cleaning up is always hard work, so keeping the garden rubbish bags close by is important. It makes everything quicker and is less strain on your back. Here I started using the electric saw because it's quieter and a little bit easier on the vibrations. Yeah, I didn't have the mic on. Just doing a bit of a squat. Okay, well, I'm not too sure whether you can hear that, but at any rate, that is the day done. Well, kind of. I've got to clean up. My back's sore, my legs are sore, but it's a good sore. No chainsaw. Howdy. G'day. My name's Sebastian. This is day 3 or 4 of the fence build. This is day 3 or 4 of the swing build. Either one, I can't remember. Today we've got to get some stumps out and get some rocks out, try and level out the ground. And then we can get the bags, these green bags, picked up and taken out, and then we can actually finish the rest of the fence. Just down here we have got some stuff. We've got the old fence, and then we've got some old wood from a fence, a brand new fence that was put in the wrong place. Before I jumped into work for this next day, I had to take some care and attention to the electric chainsaw. The blade was really blunt and I needed to fix that. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to change this chain. Now this chain that's on here, I've tried to sharpen. Couldn't really get that far. So I decided that I will change it with one of these. This is in a plastic packaging, which cannot stand because it's always so difficult to open. And you think, why would you put it in such a difficult container? I wonder how many people injure themselves per year trying to open up these containers, because I think it's quite a few people. It's always so sharp. That's what the gloves are for. Okay, well, that got that open. I used the wrong scissors, should have used bigger ones. Now take the I have found that when I am using chainsaws, I don't clean them when they stop working properly. But I clean them when they do work properly. Does that make any sense? Like, you know, when you're using it and then all of a sudden it dies and you're trying to work out why or whichever, and you just cannot be bothered cleaning it. This also has this real bad problem of leaking quite profusely. And it's not leaking from where the chain oil comes out, which is right here, right in there. It's actually coming out from the tank. Around the back is the adjustment nut for the tension of the chain, and I'm just going to loosen it because while I can take the chain off, this chain, I can take it off, it's stretched. It has been used, so it's more than likely it's been stretched. So if I try and put the new one on when that tension was high, I'd probably struggle a little bit. Maybe. The other thing to look for, and I'm lucky that this is still on here, is the tooth direction. On this one, the flat is behind the curved bit along the top. Here, this is the new chain, is the flat bit, and the curved bit is behind it. So it actually needs to go that way. And that just means that when you're cutting on the sharp edge here, not in the reverse, because the chain's going around this direction. So we'll put the chain back in the bar, and this one has a little spur gear at the top there, and you just want it to make sure it's slotted in. I find the simplest way to do this is to put it on the bar, hold it towards the back end. Obviously you've got to wear gloves because if you don't you'll cut yourself. Hold it on the back, kind of pull it tight and pull the bar that way so the chain is stuck in that position, and then place it on here, holding it, and then wiggle it a little bit to get it on. It's got to be strong, and then once it's on, I just need to locate the hole, which I can see it there, just went on, this little hole here. That's actually pretty tight. This one's a bit dirty, so I will go outside and just give it a bit of a push of the dirt out. Okay, it's a little better, not the best, but that's okay. I'm hoping that this won't be a blunt mess, and I can actually use this all day. I know that this chain's gonna stretch, but normally I want to put it on so it has a little bit of movement in there. You don't want it tight because I don't know what will happen. Maybe it will break. It can't be good for it if it's super tight, so you kind of want it loose. Chainsaw has a new blade on it. We'll give this a go. It's got oil leaking out of it quite badly. If I wanted to fix that, I would have to take this apart. I absolutely cannot be bothered to do that. With a new chain installed, I started attacking one of the stumps. One thing you want to do with a chainsaw is you don't want it to cut into dirt. Dirt makes the chain go blunt really quickly. So I was trying my best to keep away from the dirt and using the large axe. It's basically a really heavy axe that has quite a wide V on it. It's to split logs. But unfortunately this stump was buried in the ground as a part of the trunk. Unfortunately I got the chain in the ground and it went a bit blunt. On the other side of the yard there was another stump to take out. This one was harder, a lot harder to get out. It was so hard to get out that I actually gave up, and you'll see in next week's video, possibly next week's, that I needed some serious help. Chopped a whole bunch out of one of the stumps and cut more out of this stump. So I think I might continue with this one and try and get more of it out. It's pretty difficult. I'm sweating and I'm sore, but got to keep going. Time for another break. So I moved on to something else. I took a bit of a break and then started attacking a whole section that had all of these rocks in it and some weed mat, which is basically black woven polythene, and it's to stop weeds from growing up. The whole front yard has this covered in it, and it has 20 odd years of stuff on top of it. So it takes a lot of effort to pull it up. One huge week over, and from your point of view, you might have thought that I didn't really do much, but here's a bit of a comparison. If you ever have to deal with weed mat, make sure you've got a really sharp knife and lots of blades to go with that knife. Next week though, we are going to need some help, like I said before, with one of these. So do join me next week and you can get to watch me drive one of those around. Anyway, hope you have a wonderful week. And we will see you, next week. Too many weeks.